All right. So after a lot of technical difficulties, we are on for our Team Our Victory Thursday night webinar. Thank you guys so much for spending your evening with me and sharing your time. Because of the delay with getting going, I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible, but I also want you to really benefit from tonight. Tonight is all about crafting your story. And so this is so weird, guys. When I speak on a webinar, I usually am like staring at the camera and like trying to be lively. And I just caught myself doing that to like nothing. So I'm just going to like, I'm going to talk like I'm not looking at a camera right now because I'm not. So I want to work on crafting your story because I see on our team a lot of people reaching out and starting to really work on posting and being authentic and really trying to get out of the box of just like Beachbody and trying to kind of create a brand for ourselves. Your story is the most powerful thing you have. It truly is. And beyond Beachbody, what we're doing is big work as a coach. And when I say big work, I don't just mean about challenge packs, guys. I mean, there are so many people that we can reach in this business that will probably never, ever, ever buy a single thing from us, but yet we've extended such a reach of influence to them. And it's amazing what that will do in your own life and in their lives. So yeah, maybe we don't get a sale off of every single person that looks at our post, but as a coach, my number one job is not to sell challenge packs. It's not even so much to run challenge groups. What I do, what I crave and what I desire to do each and every day is to help someone. Every day I just want to help somebody. I want women out there not to feel alone in their journey. I want somebody to say, wow, because of you, I could. I want people to look at me and say, you know what? I've felt that way too. Thank you for sharing that because I didn't think anybody else ever felt that way. I want people to know that it's not always easy, but that life is a beautiful thing. And that's what I really want. And that's like, it's taken me time in my Beachbody business and my career to really dig deep and get that. And it's still evolving, but it all starts with my story. And there was a time in my business that I was very afraid to tell my story because at the beginning I was still kind of in my nightmare, if you will. And so I totally understand if there's parts of your life that you're not comfortable sharing just yet. I promise you that in time and with growth, the season will end and you'll come out of that season into a new one and you'll be ready to share that. So I'm not asking you tonight to share every single tidbit of your life that you might not be ready to share just yet. That's not what I'm requesting of you, but I am going to request that you start getting out of your comfort zone and really giving people a real, raw, vulnerable taste of who you are, because that's when people will latch on to you and say, wow, I'm kind of like her, or wow, I really relate to her in some way, shape, or form. So remember that our work, it truly is to help somebody, helping, inspiring, motivating people who are just like us. So what I want you to do first is I want you to write, and this is where I would have like totally shown you. It's so cute. I want you to write story going down. So like down your page, S, and then under it, TORY. Like we're going to do like an acrostic poem. This is so like elementary school teacher of me. Yeah. So we're doing an acrostic. So I picked a word to go with each letter of story. And so we're going to start with that. And we're going to talk through each little tidbit. So S. Next to S, I want you to write struggles. An important part of your story, whether you like it or not, is going to be your struggles. It's going to be what in your life was uncomfortable, something you had to overcome, a season that wasn't so great, but that you can look at it now. You can look at your struggles and you can talk about them. Okay. And we'll like dissect and dive into all this in a second, but I just want you to kind of stay with me on the categories we're going to do. So S is struggles. T, next to T, I want you to write triumphs. In your story, I'm sure you've seen people who they like to post their stories on Facebook or on social media. And in their stories, they love to just give you the S. They love to just give you what's wrong, what they're struggling with, but they never give you any like victory or triumph or success, right? So that's where we're different, because we take our struggles and we twist them and turn them, and we create triumphs out of them. And again, you might be in a season of struggle in some aspect of your life, and there doesn't seem like there's a way out. Like there's no way out of the struggle. I am just stuck in it. I don't see the horizon at all with this, and that's okay. But maybe there's other areas of your life that you've struggled with, and there's triumph from that. You've had a victory. You've had some sort of small success in it. And those are the things that we also need to share. Okay, O. O, I want you to write ordinary stuff. And just bear with me, but we need ordinary stuff in our story. Okay, I'm totally like moving around my apartment now and like not even sitting where I should have been sitting before. Because like I do the lighting there for these videos so that the lighting is a little bit better, and yeah, I don't want to sit in that lighting, so I'm moving. So if I sound like I'm moving, I'm sorry. Okay, so ordinary stuff is next to O. Next to R, I want you to write, and I'll open this up for some discussion, because when I'm brainstorming this, I'm not perfect. So these were all my things, and maybe you can help me, but I put roadblocks, and I also put relatable. But relatable for me kind of fell into the category of ordinary stuff, and roadblocks kind of fell into struggles. So if an R word that you think is really important as your story pops into your head at any point, feel free to like either put it in the chat or just shout it out, okay? But I did write relatable, roadblocks, and we'll have a second where we can brainstorm some things too. Next to the Y, I want you to write you. Y-O-U, you. So your story is going to have those different parts to it, those aspects to your story. So on like another page, so either flip your page or just turn to a clean sheet, whatever you can do, I want you to cut your page vertically in half. So one line straight down the middle. And then after you do that, I want you to cut 2 horizontal lines across so you create 6 equal boxes. So once you have 6 boxes, okay, 2 side by side, 3 going down, right? In the very top left box, I want you to write your name. So like Brittany's story. And then like if you're a total doodler like me, you can later go back and doodle the heck out of that box and make it really pretty. But write your name story, like Brittany's story, Samantha's story, Kayla's story, etc. Okay, next to that box, I want you to write the first one. So write, and when you write this, I'm sorry, the whole like Kayla's story can take up that whole box. You can knock your socks off with that one. But when you get to the rest of these boxes, make them like headers so that you have plenty of space to write in the box, because we're going to write in them in a second. Okay, so next to the My Story box, your first top right box, put struggles at the top so that you have space to write in still. And then in the second box on the left underneath My Story, you can put the T word, triumphs. And then across from triumphs in the next box, we're just going across. You can write ordinary stuff. I feel like you understand what we're doing. I'm feeling like we're getting it. And then in the bottom left is that R word. And if you feel like roadblocks is a good one for you, relatable, does anybody have another R word that pops into their head that would craft your story? I really was struggling with R earlier. I know, this is so terrible. Okay, right, you can pick either or you can leave it for now. No big deal. I'm going to keep brainstorming on R words. I just felt like all the R words I could think of overlapped other categories. And then in the last box to the bottom right corner, put you, Y-O-U. So this is what I want you to do. Your story, okay, I'm going to talk through a little bit about my story so you can kind of see how it's crafted. So in any story I write, I'll do like, every once in a while on Facebook, I'll do a an introduction post, like Friday introductions, where I'll introduce who I am, you know, because I'm on Run to Your Happy Place. Like, who is this crazy person behind Run to Your Happy Place? I'll introduce myself. On my blog, I have a Meet Brittany page, and that is another little bio. So your story is simply a bio of yourself, but in that you need to create space for people to be able to latch on to you. Okay, so anytime that I craft a story, I always find a way to let them know something I've struggled with. For example, one of the big reasons that I joined Beachbody was because I was in a place where I was at a super low time in my life, had just kicked out my boyfriend of 6 years. All of my friendships were kind of vanishing in front of my face because of that choice that I made. So I felt very much alone. I was in a deep debt of money. And so I needed an out. I needed something to like do that helped earn me money and gave me a way out of kind of my reality. Insert Beachbody. So that is a struggle that I'm going to be honest with you. When I was I joined Beachbody while I was like, when I was fresh out of this breakup, right? And I was not about to tell people that I joined Beachbody because I just broke up with this deadbeat. I wasn't about to tell anybody that, but that was my struggle. And so it took me a long time to be able to open up and tell people that that breakup was really hard. It was a really hard crossroad for me. But it led to a triumph. It led to me finding personal development and finding fitness and finding a team of women that encouraged me to be a better version of myself. And so through that, I kind of just put my nose down and ran my race. And that's kind of where my triumph comes in, right? So I can start with my struggle and I can go into my triumph. Other struggles. I opened up recently on my page about battling some depression since I moved to California. Now, that was really hard for me to open up about because when I moved to California, I made it very clear to everybody that my life was going to be a lot better. That when I moved to California, by the way, while I'm chatting, you are free to be filling in some of your boxes. I hope you're doing that. I'm just kind of filling in space by giving you examples of me. Yeah.
What about reason for R?
Oh, I like that a lot. Kayla, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. I think reason's a good one because it's your why. I love that. Yes. Bingo. I knew somebody was going to have it. I love it. Thank you. Reason. I'm writing it now. That's awesome. How could I not think? I was like struggling, seriously. Like want to talk about struggles? Writing out story in an acrostic was a struggle for me today. Oh man. Okay. So, perfect. So I wrote reason down. So, and continue guys. I want you to start kind of filling in, just brainstorming. You can bullet things, like bullet struggles, and they don't have to be huge. Like they don't have to be like life altering, and they can be, you know, maybe you have somebody that battled an illness in your family and that's been a struggle in your life. Or maybe you have, maybe a struggle has been, you know, Kayla, you're a mom on this call. And so, you know, maybe there's been struggles as being a mom that other moms would understand and latch onto. Struggles, you know, with Samantha, struggles in being like newlywed, right? And that the relationship with you and Jesse and things that maybe you guys have to work on. Those are things that other women could latch onto. And so you want to find things in your life that, yeah, is it hard to share it? Does it make you feel nervous sometimes to like open up and be vulnerable? Absolutely. But when you open up that space, it's so rewarding because you find people who needed you. Okay. So, yeah. So when I didn't open up about being depressed when I first moved to California for a long time, because I made it very clear to everybody on social media that moving to California was like the truth, the way, and the light for me, and that I had it all planned out and that I was already a success when I got here, and that like, I was just going to be this amazing 10-star diamond coach, you know, and like live this free life on the beach. And like, I made that very clear in my own mind. And then that didn't happen. And life wasn't as happy as I thought it would be. And I felt like a failure and just a lot of things. And so it took me a long time though to open up about that because, you know, that was a real struggle that I was kind of in and I wasn't ready to talk about it yet. So sometimes the struggles that we're currently in, you might not be able to talk about that one just yet. but maybe there's things you've already overcome. Okay. And I just want to give you guys the space to write for a little bit. What time is it? It's 6:26. I'm going to give you guys about 4 more minutes, and I'll try to keep quiet. you know I love to talk. I'll try to keep quiet for 4 minutes so you guys can like write and brainstorm. And then, while you're writing for 4 minutes, see, you knew I couldn't keep quiet. And then after 4 minutes, we'll share some stuff. Maybe not all of it, but just some of the key points that we're like, you know what, I could really start talking about this. In the ordinary stuff, so triumphs could be triumphs from those direct struggles. Obviously, those can go hand in hand. They can be little victories. They can be huge, major triumphs over your life, right? Ordinary stuff. Guys, things that like, I did a post about dry shampoo the other day, and like everybody loved me. Like, what? Dry shampoo? That's ordinary. But people latch on to that, right? You don't always want to be such like a distant hero in their eyes. Sometimes they want somebody who's just like them. So ordinary stuff. What else? Oh, I posted that like the other day I posted a rice cake, and then in the background was a Mexican food truck that I really wanted to eat at while I was pumping gas. But instead I was eating this like stupid rice cake. And everybody like freaking loved that post. I'm like, what? Like, this is so ordinary. But you know, sometimes that's what people want. They want a reason why like they're kind of like you. And then reason, like Samantha pointed out, your why, maybe your reason for fitness, your reason for personal development, your reason for becoming a coach, your reason for why you're even posting in the first place. Why do you post so often? Your reason for eating better, your reason for anything, right? It doesn't have to be Beachbody related. And then what makes you unique? Like in that box, you should be writing just like one word things. Like for me, I'm short. I like wine. I read. I cook. Traveling. Beach. You know, like one word blurbs that are like unique to you. Okay, I'm going to shut up. All right. I'm going to pause you guys kind of where you are. And this is something like you can continue, obviously, to fill this in. And this is something that can evolve. Okay, let me rephrase that. It's not that it can evolve. It will evolve. There will be new struggles that arise in your life. There will be new triumphs that you have. There will be new ordinary things that are like that you fall in love with. New products that you find over time, new like easier life hacks, things like that, right? That are ordinary. Your why may shift, and it will shift throughout your life. And the things that describe you, oftentimes we'll hold on to some of those, but as we grow, those might shift as well. So who would like to open up? It doesn't matter what box you're talking through, but just some things that maybe in your story you've yet to share on social media, but today it was kind of like, I think that would be really great, like ammo for maybe some social media posting.
In my struggle box, I have, last year I dealt with like the plantar fasciitis.
Okay.
And I don't really like talk about it much at all because it's really painful, but I kind of stopped running from it and it kind of really affected me. So I really stopped near the end of the year, and when I started doing the workouts, it actually got better. Like I think I told you before, like I've been running again and I haven't had as much problem with it. Like I still get it here and there, but I just kind of try to be preventative about it. And then another struggle of mine is I don't have a whole lot of fit friends. So that makes it very challenging, which is why Beachbody was like really nice to have, to be able to talk to other people that are working out, because if I talk to anybody else about working out, they just kind of look at me like I'm crazy. And then I dealt with a lot of negative coworkers before I switched departments, and that was really hard to deal with. So that's what I have in my struggles box.
And all of those are relevant. Like I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that, just like you are desiring fit friends, there's other people out there that are desiring that sense of community with work. I'm sure there's other people that, they don't, or they didn't like a part of their job and they're thankful now that they've switched, or they currently are in a place where they hate what they're doing, right? Just offering them that support, even if Beachbody coaching isn't the answer for them, or they can't quite switch departments, you can at least be an ear that you lend to them, right?
Right. Yeah, because I think that was like a major difference. Even when I was still in the department, it was nice to have other people to talk to on it. Like, I still have my friends and everything, but, it's nice to have like such uplifting people on a team like this, I think.
Yeah.
After you deal with negative coworkers all day.
Absolutely. That was what I craved too, was to be surrounded by a community that like got it, right? That wasn't like always complaining and always, that's awesome. Anything else you want to share?
Do you want me to go through like some of my other ones, or?
If you'd like, it's up to you.
I didn't really have too much in my triumphs one, just the fact that like I could actually finish a whole program, because I've tried other programs and I never finished them. So that was, I think, a victory for me. I'm just starting to get like little victories, like making more time, doing more morning workouts, and I'm just trying to get better at planning. And then for ordinary stuff, I have like just like trying new foods, because I was very like kind of sheltered and I really didn't try a lot of different foods. And just like new discoveries, like I've never had like powdered peanut butter before, so I never even knew about it before.
Isn't that crazy too, though? Like there's so many foods that I'll eat nowadays that I'm like, I have to take a step back and remember that like maybe other people don't know about this food. And so, yeah, that's pretty cool.
And I know like just the other day, someone was asking about like advice for wedding planning, and I sent them a comment and I kind of helped them out with that too. So I think I still, like, as a newlywed, like, can kind of give people tips and advice on that, because I mean the wedding planning thing is very ridiculous.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
yeah. And then for my reason, I just have like to be more fit, and to be more fit will also help with my riding with my horses, and also keep me more healthy to take care of my horses, and to just be capable, I think, to just be able to go out and help my husband with stuff, and just be capable of doing things that not like not fit people, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to be happier. Uh, and then I put equestrian, wine, mud races, running, and adventurous. And
Okay.
horses is there first.
Yeah. And that's great because on those days, and I know we spoke about this, on those days where you're like, oh, I don't know what to write about, it's like you can pull from any of those places, and on a daily basis, you should be giving everybody some little insight into who you are, And so it doesn't have to be like, I'm going to tell my huge struggle story every day. Like, you don't have to do that kind of a thing, but every day they should get a sense of who Samantha is, right? Every time she posts. Side note, do you go by Sam ever?
Yeah.
Okay. I was totally cooking dinner last night and I was like, yeah, so Sam and I were talking. And then I was like, Charlie, I don't even know if she goes by Sam. I'll have to ask her.
Oh yeah, I do. Usually like when I write my name out though, like if I write out my whole name, I use Samantha.
Okay.
But Sam is fine.
Okay. Oh, I love it. Yeah. Side note. Well, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing all of that. Kayla, do you have anything that you'd like to share? You don't have to share all, or you can, or.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Absolutely.
Okay. So for, I guess for mine, for my struggles, it kind of started out with like the lack of the confidence. I did a lot of emotional eating. So where I would just go in and candy was always around at work, and it still kind of is. So like I would find myself just going in and, hey, somebody has this candy, or I would go and take a bag of M&Ms to work and it wouldn't even last me a day, like an entire bag of M&Ms, and it would be gone just because I would like mindlessly eat. So then that kind of, led to more like depression and more stress. And just on and off throughout the years, definitely with in between the two, having the two boys, like before Taylor, like I wanted, and even before Nick, like I wanted to get pregnant, but it was just a huge struggle for me. And so that has just been kind of ongoing, and it got to a point where, I know I've put it on my page before, and Brittany, you're aware of it, that it got to a point where I'm like, I can't do this anymore. So I wanted to do the whole weight loss surgery. So I went and I, paid the huge, like, I don't know, I feel like it was like $500 or $600 to get into this program to get started. They talked to me like I was definitely a shoo-in, I was good to go, and then insurance denied me and said that I wasn't large enough. I was just, I wasn't unhealthy enough for them to be qualified for it. So that kind of put me in a tailspin, and I just kept eating more, and then I got even bigger than I was before. And so I just I was in a rut. So then I found, Brittany and Beachbody, kind of just, it all kind of fell into place, and I went out of my comfort zone. I did the 21-day fix, and through that came the triumphs of nutrition. Like I started to eat a lot better. I became more active. I started to accept the non-scale victories, because before I would just beat myself up so much if I didn't see that number move down like I wanted it to, or if I lost a pound and then I would gain like 2 pounds back. Like it was just really depressing. So I learned how to appreciate the fact that my pant sizes were going down, or shirts weren't fitting the same way and they were getting bigger. I went and throughout this whole program, I've done at least 3 different programs that I never thought I would in my entire life would ever imagine that I would have done dancing again, or I would have started something like a boot camp. It's just crazy to me that that's where I'm at now, and I'm using less excuses. And it's just a little silly things like your underwear size. I'm now out of the double digits in underwear size. And so when you're a big girl, that's so exciting. You don't have to be in the queen size anymore.
That's awesome.
It sounds so silly, but it's just it's one of those things. You're like, oh, hey, I'm in a size 7 now. That's exciting. So, and the reasoning is I keep doing it because not only am I helping myself, I'm helping others. I want that healthier lifestyle. I want to live in the moment. I want to be able to do things with my boys. I've got family members that have now, just because I've continuously been posting, they've started to eat better. And, we have an aunt who has a really unhealthy lifestyle, but she's already, because, we've talked about it so much, she started and, she's one that's over 700 pounds and she's trying and she's actually losing weight because she's choosing to eat a little better and try and be a little bit more active. And to me, that's exciting. So even if just, for me, I'm more happy, I'm lighter, and I'm just inspired.
You're going to make me cry, Kayla.
Why?
Because your story is so beautiful.
It's not that beautiful.
It really is, Kayla. Dang. I don't know. And I hear you talk and I'm just I want you to make a video of what you just said to us. You need to make a video of that, your testimony, so people can hear your voice when you say it, and hear the authenticity and that journey, where you were, what you decided to do, and who you are now as a result of it, and that you're still not done. That's the cool part.
And I still struggle. This 3-day refresh that I was just on, holy crap. I was so done with this whole thing. It was, some of the stuff was really gross to drink. I'm not going to lie.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I learned that I could drink the shake with just water if I had to, and it was okay with me. I still had to have the banana, but it was okay. And then I go and I never measured myself. I wish I would have. So I feel dumb about that. But when I checked the scale today, I had lost yesterday, I'd lost 4 pounds. I'm where the heck did it go? And then I realized that, my clothes that I got from the cruise, they fit again. So I'm super, and they're even looser than they were when I was wearing them on the cruise. So I'm very, I struggled. I had lost 10 pounds while I was on the water in the ocean, came back to land, wasn't as active because I wasn't continuously walking around. And, I had to get myself going again.
Mm-hmm.
So
and that's so that right there is a that might not seem like a struggle in the grand scheme of everything, because we always attest it back to where I started at rock bottom, but that's even right there a relatable story for you to be able to say, I got back on land and just didn't I got back from vacation, I didn't feel like doing it, right? And that's normal for people, and sharing that, but you just had to do something about it to get back on track, right? And so you decided to do this 3-day refresh, and even that right there is a mini struggle into a mini triumph in literally just a couple weeks time,
Yeah.
Because that's the other thing too. People when they are looking at where how far they have to go, and I know you guys both know this because you've been there, but when you have to look at wow, I'm this far behind, it almost seems impossible to ever get out of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So showing people that it's a progression and it's baby steps, and that sometimes you fall backwards and then you have to move forwards, and it's a balancing, right? I go a little and then I go back a little, and then I go a little further and then I come back. And That's all part of it. But I guess what I encourage, like, especially the two of you guys, and I'm going to kind of wrap up. Kayla, I'm sorry. I hope I'm not cutting you off of anything. Am I?
Nope.
Okay. I'm going to wrap up though, because I do see the clock is ticking for the 3.5 minutes left. But I guess this is what I want to encourage, especially the two of you on live tonight. And if anybody's checking this out on the replay, awesome stuff being said tonight by these two ladies and just crafting their stories. And hopefully you guys can all craft yours too as you're listening and working that out. But what I encourage you guys to do is, I see you present on social media. I see your posts happening. What I would encourage and ask and challenge the team to do is to really start digging in and giving people just a little bit more of who you really are. I think we do a great job of consistently sharing what workout we did or what shake we drank, and the fact that, you know, we're working on our happiness. And I think we have we're pretty comfortable in that zone. And I'm asking and requesting that we just step outside of that little comfort zone slightly and start sharing beyond that. Build a little bit of intrigue around you and your story. Don't forget about the ordinary things. Don't forget about the things that make you you. Don't forget about the reason why you're doing whatever you're doing. And slowly start sharing each of that, because there is some serious power. I have so many, and I wish I could just tell you guys, like, there's so many people that over the years I've come across that have never purchased anything from me, but I know that I've helped them when they needed it most. And to me, that's more important than any challenge pack I could sell or any challenge group, is just how far my reach goes, way further than any sort of sales in my back office. And that's what I want for you too. Because once your reach starts going far and wide, it doesn't become so much about, did I hit Success Club? You're going to hit it inevitably because of how authentic you are. People are just going to be attracted. So I encourage you to just keep sharing it and share it in multiple ways. Guys, Facebook Live, I know it's a little scary. I'm a little scared doing it, but I've been trying to dabble in it. And if I can do it, by golly, I know you guys can do it. So I've been like attempting to get on Facebook Live and test my, feet in it and everything. But this is an awesome method for you too, to get in there, people to see your face, know what you're about. Trying other platforms. I just got on Snapchat, guys, for the first time ever, and I don't know a thing or two about it, but I'm working it out and stuff like that. I know, Samantha, you're doing your blog, just things like that. Start really trying to find other ways to get out there and extend your reach. But it says that I've got less than a minute, so I just want to let you guys know that I do love you to death. Thank you so much for being on live with me. And if you have any questions or you want to test out anything with your story or whatever, you know exactly where to find me. All right, ladies? All right, I am going to stop recording. Have a great night.
You too.
All right, bye, guys.
Bye.